The night I came home too soon. The surprise that broke everything. Marcus Reed believed in surprises. He believed that love needed effort, that marriage survived on intention, not just feelings. That was why, after 3 exhausting weeks in Houston closing a business deal, he decided not to tell his wife he was coming home early. Danielle would be thrilled, he told himself. He imagined her smile when she opened the door and saw him standing there, suitcase in one hand, flowers in the other. He imagined the way she would scold him playfully for not calling, then hug him like she always did when he returned from trips. Marcus had no idea that the house he was driving toward no longer belonged to him. It was past 10 p.m. when his Uber dropped him off. The neighborhood was quiet, the streetlights humming softly. Their house looked the same, warm porch light on, curtains drawn. Normal. Safe. He paid the driver, rolled his suitcase up the driveway, and unlocked the door with his key. The living room was dim, the TV off. Danielle must be asleep, he thought. He smiled to himself, kicked off his shoes, and walked quietly toward the bedroom. That was when he heard it. A sound that did not belong to him. A soft laugh. A man's voice. Marcus froze. His heart began to pound so hard it felt like it might crack his ribs. He stood there, hand hovering over the bedroom door, his mind scrambling for logic. Maybe I'm imagining things. He pushed the door open, and the world ended. Danielle was in their bed. Not alone. Her hair was messy, sheets tangled around her bare shoulders. Beside her, half sitting, half frozen in panic, was his younger brother, Derek. For a moment, no one moved. Danielle screamed. Derek scrambled backward, knocking over the bedside lamp. The room flooded with harsh light, exposing everything: skin, guilt, terror. Marcus dropped his suitcase. It hit the floor with a dull thud that echoed louder than the scream. "What is this?" Marcus whispered. His voice didn't sound like his own. Danielle pulled the sheets to her chest, shaking. "Marcus." Derek jumped out of the bed. "Bro, listen." Marcus raised his hand. "Don't," he said. His knees felt weak. His chest burned like he had swallowed fire. The woman he married. The brother he grew up protecting. In the same bed. In his house. On the sheets he bought. He laughed suddenly, once, sharply, then stopped. "I left you both here," he said slowly, each word cutting deeper than the last. "I trusted you." Danielle burst into tears. "It didn't start like this." Marcus turned and walked out. He didn't shout. He didn't hit anyone. He didn't ask questions. Because some truths didn't need explanation. That night, Marcus Reed didn't just lose a marriage. He lost his brother. And he lost the version of himself that believed betrayal only happened to other people. Marcus sat in his car for hours. He didn't know where to go. The engine was off, the windows fogged from his breath, his phone buzzing endlessly in his pocket. He didn't answer it. Every vibration felt like another wound. Inside the house, the lights went off one by one. Danielle and Derek stayed inside, probably talking, probably panicking, probably trying to create excuses that would never matter. Marcus stared straight ahead. His hands were shaking. He thought about every time Derek had stayed over while he traveled. Every time Danielle had said, "Your brother needed help." Every time he ignored the tight feeling in his chest. Blood wouldn't betray blood, he had believed. He was wrong. At dawn, Marcus drove away. He checked into a cheap hotel on the other side of town. The room smelled like disinfectant and loneliness. He sat on the edge of the bed and finally allowed himself to cry. Not loud. Just broken. Later that morning, his phone rang again. This time, he answered. "Marcus," Danielle said, her voice hoarse. "Please. Let me explain." "There is nothing to explain," he replied calmly. "It was a mistake." "No," Marcus said. "It was a choice." She sobbed. "Derek manipulated me." Marcus laughed bitterly. "Don't insult me by pretending you were helpless." She was silent. "So what now?" she whispered. Marcus looked at the wall, at the peeling paint, at the stranger his life had become overnight. "Now," he said, "you and Derek live with what you did." He hung up. Then he blocked her number. And his brothers. News traveled fast. By the end of the week, his mother had called him 4 times. His aunt left voicemails. Cousins texted cryptic messages. "Family meeting," they said. Marcus showed up anyway. The living room was full when he arrived. Danielle wasn't there. Derek was, head bowed, face swollen like someone who had practiced crying. Their mother stood up immediately. "Marcus, thank God you came." Marcus didn't sit. "I'm here because I want to hear what story you've been told," he said. Derek sniffed. "Bro, I messed up. I swear I never wanted to hurt you." Marcus stared at him. "You wanted my wife." Gasps filled the room. Their mother rushed in. "Marcus, that's still your brother." "And she was my wife," Marcus replied quietly. His aunt cleared her throat. "Marriage can be forgiven. Family must be preserved." Marcus felt something inside him snap into clarity. "So this is about peace," he said. "Not truth." Silence. Their mother wiped her eyes. "Derek is younger. He needs guidance." Marcus nodded slowly. "Then guide him, without me." He picked up his jacket. "You don't get to betray me," he said, "then ask me to bleed quietly so the family can stay comfortable." He walked out. This time, he didn't look back. Marcus filed for divorce on a Monday morning. No dramatic speeches. No long explanations. Just signatures, documents, and a quiet resolve that surprised even him. The lawyer, Mrs. Evelyn Carter, adjusted her glasses and looked at him carefully. "Infidelity involving a close relative complicates things," she said gently. "But legally, your case is strong." Marcus nodded. "I don't want revenge. I want separation." She paused. Sometimes, separation is justice. Danielle was served the papers that same afternoon. She showed up at his hotel room uninvited that night, eyes swollen, makeup smeared. Marcus opened the door, then froze. "I just want 5 minutes," she pleaded. "You already took more than that," he replied. She dropped to her knees. "Marcus, please. I was lonely. You were always gone." Marcus stepped back. "Loneliness doesn't lead to your husband's brother." Her lips trembled. "I love you." He shook his head slowly. "You loved the comfort, not me." He closed the door. That night, Marcus slept for the first time without hoping things would magically fix themselves. 2 weeks later, the message came from an unknown number. "I'm pregnant." Marcus stared at the screen for a long time. His hands were steady this time. He replied once. "Is it mine?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. "I don't know." That was the moment Marcus understood that betrayal had layers. At the clinic, the truth came fast and clean. The doctor looked up from the chart. "The results are clear," she said. "The child is not yours." Danielle broke down, sobbing into her hands. Derek stood against the wall, pale and silent. Marcus felt no triumph, only finality. "I hope the child grows better than the people who made it," Marcus said quietly as he stood up. He walked out without another word. Derek's life unraveled faster than he expected. The family stopped covering for him when the truth spread. His girlfriend left. His job terminated him after rumors reached the office. One night, Derek showed up drunk at Marcus's workplace. "I lost everything," Derek slurred. "Just like you." Marcus looked at him calmly. "No. I lost what was stolen. You lost what you couldn't keep." Derek fell to his knees. "I'm sorry." Marcus paused. "I forgive you," he said finally. "But forgiveness doesn't mean access." He turned and walked away. That was the last time they spoke. Marcus moved to Atlanta. New city. New apartment. New silence. He threw himself into work, expanded his business, hired people who believed in loyalty. Slowly, the nights became less heavy. At a networking event, he met Naomi Turner, a financial analyst with a calm smile and eyes that didn't rush him. They talked about books, travel, pain that didn't need to be unpacked all at once. For the first time in a long time, Marcus didn't feel watched. He felt seen. A year later, Danielle called from a restricted number. Marcus almost didn't answer. "Marcus," she said softly, "I lost the baby." He closed his eyes. "I'm sorry," he replied. There was silence between them. "I destroyed everything," she whispered. "Yes," Marcus agreed. "But destruction doesn't get rewritten." She cried. He listened. Then he ended the call. Not in anger. In peace. Naomi never tried to replace Marcus's past. She simply respected it. When he finally told her everything, she didn't gasp or judge. She just said, "You survived something most people don't." They married quietly 2 years later. No surprises. Only truth. Marcus stood on his balcony one evening, city lights glowing below. Naomi joined him, resting her head on his shoulder. "Do you regret coming home early?" she asked. Marcus smiled faintly. "No," he said. "I regret trusting blindly, but not seeing clearly. Some surprises destroy you. Others save you." And Marcus Reed learned the difference the night he came home too soon. The divorce was finalized quietly. No courtroom drama. No shouting. Just signatures, stamps, and the sound of a chapter closing. Marcus returned once, only once, to the old house to collect the rest of his belongings. Danielle wasn't there. She had moved back to her mother's place. The silence inside the house felt heavy, like it was holding its breath. Every corner carried memories. The couch where they watched movies. The kitchen where she used to dance while cooking. The bedroom, he didn't step inside. He packed methodically, like a man afraid that lingering too long might crack something he had barely managed to seal shut. As he locked the door behind him, Marcus realized something painful and freeing at the same time. That house was never really his once trust left it. Marcus's mother showed up unannounced one Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. She looked older. Tired. The kind of tired that came from carrying shame she didn't know how to name. "You cut us off," she said softly. Marcus poured her tea. "I protected myself." She sighed. "Derek is struggling." Marcus met her eyes. "That's the first honest thing I've heard in months." "He needs his brother." "No," Marcus corrected gently. "He needs accountability." His mother's voice cracked. "You raised him too." Marcus shook his head. "I raised him to respect boundaries. He chose not to." Silence settled between them. Before she left, she asked quietly, "Will you ever come back?" Marcus answered honestly, "Maybe. But not to be wounded again." Derek moved from couch to couch. Friends avoided him. Family stopped defending him publicly. The woman he thought would stay, didn't. One night, he sat alone in a dim bar, scrolling through old photos on his phone. Pictures of Marcus holding him at graduation. Marcus standing beside him at his first job interview. Marcus covering his rent when things were tight. He dropped the phone on the table. For the first time, the weight of what he destroyed fully settled. Not just a marriage. A brotherhood. Marcus thought healing would look like progress. Instead, it looked like setbacks. Some nights, he woke up sweating, replaying that bedroom scene. Other days, laughter came easily, and then guilt followed, like happiness was a betrayal of the pain he once carried. Naomi noticed. "You don't owe your trauma loyalty," she told him one evening. That sentence stayed with him. Healing wasn't about forgetting. It was about refusing to live there forever. 2 years after the betrayal, Marcus received a handwritten letter. Not from Danielle. From Derek. The handwriting was shaky. "I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve reconciliation. I just needed to say I finally understand what I took from you, and I'm sorry. Marcus folded the letter carefully. He didn't respond. Some apologies are not doors. They are acknowledgments. Danielle remarried quickly. It didn't last. The rumors came back to Marcus through distant relatives, financial struggles, bitterness, regret. But Marcus no longer felt satisfaction in hearing about her pain. Indifference had replaced anger. And that, he realized, was freedom.